Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, amazing, spectacular Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, the one, the only, singular master of propaganda, the Wunderkind of Denmark. Off here to a 1v1 on, you guessed it is, Langraskaya in the north, it is Luvnest, Luvnest, fighting here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union. Leninist Marxist ideology here with the 3rd Guards Mechanized Corps with Guard Motor coordination featuring the T-3045 medium tank heavy mortars, Guards Rifle Infantry, vehicle crew repair training and marked vehicle. In the south it is Prabuty fighting for the Oberkommand West, Germany, Deutschland, here with the 1st Panzer Division with Feuersturm featuring the Flammenhetzer, assault packages, incendiary munitions, Opel Blitzers, and the rocket barrage. We got a dominating near start here for Luvnest, allowing to see some more territory in the early game, versus a double focus start for Prabuty, allowing him to also see some more territory in the early game, but also shoot more things in the early game. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons supporters. These crucial elements of the Propaganda Ministry support base allows me to keep doing what I do on a monthly basis. So if you do like what I do and wish to support it, consider donating or pledging on Patreon or donating via PayPal. Either works out there, of course, will help me a lot there. Links are in the description. I wish to comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button, spread the word of the mighty Propagandacast, and keep YouTube from snuffing it out. So double conscript now here for Luvnest. Pretty aggressive approach here. Luvnest scouting ahead, looking to perhaps catch his opponent a bit with his leader horse down his ankles. And there you go, caught here by the western munitions point. Skirmishing here happens. Conscripts with their Mosin guns. Bolt action rifle versus the Kar-98K bolt action rifle. Sturm pinning westwards here. We got conscript at the centre here, and eastern points being seized here steadily by Luvnest and the Red Army. 1st Panzer Division was sort of sharing initially one of the initial elite Panzer divisions. You've actually had a much higher concentration of focus on armoured half-tracks than other divisions did. Focus on at the start of the war, where most divisions would have like one company worth of armoured half-tracks. The 1st Panzer Division actually had 2 armoured battalions and sort of armoured half-tracks there, so that's actually a significant thing there. Pushing east for SIG engineers by the eastern point here. Going westwards through the Sturmpioniere. And they got the Fulsker squad also there for Prabuty. Well, of course, have to see what he goes for. Some players aren't so keen on going for the MP40s, so I think going for at least a mix of them and the assault rifles can be quite good. Flamethrowers possible here. We'll have to see what else he goes for. And of course, the Blitz is always, so-and-so. Not in terms of like being good, but how many people use it. But there you go. Nice flank here, making use of the train to catch Luvnest here, who's actually anchored himself by the heavy cover here. Refusing to respond to the flank, it seems, almost here by Prabuty, which is great for Prabuty. Costing Luvnest here a lot of manpower without really like gaining anything from it, honestly. Not the most exciting engagement there for Luvnest. Unless by exciting meaning, his heartbeat is probably up, but it's not really one that's doing anything for him. Except maybe purging his ranks of counter-revolutionaries. And I think that is not the approved method of getting rid of them. Push back there, engineers with flamethrowers. Medics up there for Luvnest. Typical triple conscript engineer build. We'll then use Guards Rifle Infantry to sort of fill up the other ranks here. I mean, we got 4 Fulsker squads here for Prabuty. That's going to be, well, a lot of Fulsker dealer. Truck on the way to the Schwere Wehrmacht will be mechanized. Again, some players like to do that, so then use the Blitz that way. But could also be Belgrave headquarters. I mean, obviously, they're both fairly solid choices there. Immediately being pushed back by the Fulsker dealer. And a bit of fresh skirmishing here as we got Luvnest now pushing in for a fresh attack against Prabuty in the centre. Being slowly pushed back there, we got the Fulsker ones from contracting around the engineers and the conscripts. Focusing on the engineers' first course as a priority target. Of course, Luvnest, there we go, can just merge, promoting the conscripts engineers very quickly without, of course, a rise in pay, though. Or other benefits, really. Hunt out of there, and there we go. Luvnest finally forced retreat. He can't keep merging, but very nice use there of the mergeability. Thumbs up. It is definitely one of those more subtly, I think, underrated abilities by a lot of Soviet players, but it can be really powerful and used like at the right time. Flamethrower engineers or other sort of elite units or support weapons. Sun being up to full strength can be, quite powerful at the right time. Or just using it to like keep costs down and reinforcements back to your base even. Prabuty pushing ahead, there we got the Flammenwerfer after they cut on the Sturmpioniere, increasing their firepower significantly, and thus also boosting their experience gain significantly. It's a pretty good upgrade there, honestly. Battle headquarters up there for Prabuty. So Overblitz seems a lot less likely. Theoretically would still go for it. I mean, I do, but that's mostly because, again, I like to play aggressive, motorized strategies. In which case, if you want to do that with the Oberkommand West, or well, mechanized in a sense, you have to go for Feuersturm and the Oberblitz. because there's no other source like, just infantry transports with the Orbital Commander Vest. But again, note the consistent merging here by Luvnest, keeping the flame units at full strength. But in this case, there's just too many like Germans with too many guns, and the engineers, like even with, you know, full ranks of conscripts, they're just not going to hold out for that long. And we do get the Orbital Blitz out here for Prabuty. One of many trucks, although it's basically was kind of meant to like standardize, I think, truck production in the German army, since particularly at the start of the war, the Germans had a circus of different trucks from like different manufacturers, different nations, which gave significant logistical issues, for example, doing Operation Barbarossa. Little fun fact there. Grand Western Point here. This Western Point here is this by the conscripts, falling back in the centre. He's got the mechanized upgrade there, so we'll have to see, does he go for the assault rifles, does he go for the MP40s? Personally, I do like the MP40s. They can provide quite a firepower boost to the full scripts, of course. That's just up close. You do lose long and mid-range firepower, which definitely has some players, understandably, not too keen on going for the upgrade, whereas the assault rifle is just an overall boost to DPS, like short, mid, and long range. Which, of course, means it is, in most cases, the safer upgrade. Troops reinforcing using the Orbital Blitz to heal. It can also then take, of course, move it further forward if it wants to, but if just using this on as base, it does seem a bit expensive since the medic upgrade is just 50 manpower and 10 fuel, whereas this is like 200 manpower and 20 fuel. That's a bit of a sharp cost rise. They also got harassment there by Luvnest on Prabuty's fuel. Very good. Instead, of course, use the Orbital Blitz otherwise. There's obviously some benefits to it. Plus, technically, can heal more troops at the same time, I think, compared to the medic, so it's not like it's a complete waste, but in terms of cost efficiency, it may not be the most efficient choice there. Mines exploding there. Using the Molotovs to set it off. Or incendiary grenade, technically, though. In reality, it's the Germans use Molotovs themselves as well. It's just, you know, typically what you hear talked about, except by me. More mines here from Luvnest, very good. T-Sim light tank on there for Luvnest, very good timing. Actually, we got pretty fast there, due to, again, excellent map control versus Prabuty, who's going for the flak half attack, but, crucially, he has no anti-tank weapons here versus Luvnest Raiders. Back here, reinforcing. More bullets just standing about there. Almost got the car point. And this little funny thing there is the Rauchenschlepper Ost, which was a specific track to made for the Eastern Front to help deal with the very muddy conditions there. Even more fun fact, they would actually make a tank destroyer based off of that, with a Pak 40 mounted on the back. Little fun side note there. Storm Pioneer fully reinforced. Black Captain reinforced there. And there we go. Got the T-Sim light tank out here for Luvnest and the Red Army. A tiny terror tank. And there you go, first shot for that falls caught out in the opening by the T-Sim light tank. It's 45mm gun there, unleashing terror and death and action machine gun, putting down poor Rudolph there. Pushing on the west side here. Yeah, we got more Blitz moving forward here, but I can see there front one is now completely, like, you know, threatened. It is no longer safe, particularly since Prabuty has 0 anti-tank weapons, so it starts pulling it back to the base again. So there's clearly some plan there to use the Orbital Blitz more, shall we say, aggressive support its frontline troops, which I think is a great idea, but, you know, the current situation does not allow it for Prabuty here, which is great news for Luvnest, really, since honestly, in my experience, like a forward reinforcement point can be really powerful at the right times. Really powerful, and I do mean it. Luvnest filling up with the CIS 3 divisional field gun. T-Sim holding up here, 3 kills, half 8 to veteran 2-1. And we got the field gun on the way, they're halfway done. Flak Captain straight line of fire with the T-Sim directed here. Again, we're slowly arriving. We're up the centre here. You got me sneaking up there with a flamethrower on the way. The ground western point as well. Full screen leaving body here by the T-Sim light tank. Sandbags up there. You can see the Luvnest preparing for a case of harassment lesions up. But it's worth noting Prabuty so far has not been a great harasser compared to Luvnest. Like, both Luvnest, I think, has been very focused just disrupting and harassing Prabuty's fuel directly. Prabuty's been much more focused on the car on there, but not like any long-term harm to the fuel economy comparatively, which I definitely think is a smarter move there by Luvnest. Flak up to the moving about. Orbital Blitz just standing about there. Particularly with the T-70 up currently, I can understand why I wouldn't want to do, but at the same time, say, stuff a few full guns with MP40s inside of it, and, you know, just say, rush a field gun, you could actually quick clear it out and turn against his opponent with it. You just need to be careful it doesn't get caught by an active tank grenade right as he exits it. That's cost me several squads. That was very painful moments. T-70 there, under fire from the Kevin, those misses completely, whiffs the shot, but there again, flag up being pushed back. East side flag goes off, killing poor Rudolf. Brother of Rudolf Friedrich. Sturm Pioneer there, and versus the Flamethrower and Yeast, Flammenwerfer versus Flamethrower there. Well, I don't know how to say Flamethrower and Ration, honestly, so. Sturm Pioneer routed. Volksguns are sitting out. Still managed to push back his opponent now. Luvnest finally bringing up some more infantry. Got the Guards Rifle Infantry. Something significantly more elite, and once equipped with the double DP light machine guns will be a headache for Prabuty's infantry. MD-35 rank about most impressive firepower versus Luvnest forces. I think that's an excellent addition here. East side T-70 continues to be a massive threat here to Prabuty. And instead of making it hard now for Prabuty to harass Luvnest fuel income, obviously, but point still stands. We need to fix up the flat calf track. I don't feel like there's a slight issue that Prabuty might be suffering from a bit of tunnel vision on the centre. And obviously you can understand wanting to at least control, at least contest this area somewhat. But I feel like there should be more of an effort to, like, you know, move up the eastern side and that way threaten Luvnest's fuel point. Or at least try and launch attacks up to hit the car point that way. I feel like a bit too head on here, a bit too straightforward. T-70 with 3 kills, veteran getting the folks have really bunched up. That's going to be an easy target for the T-70, to be honest. And also an easy chance for, like, the field gun to do some significant damage. I feel like that's definitely a bit of a bad call there by Prabuty in this case. He very luckily did not get punished, honestly. There you go, field gun finally bombarding, but I feel like this could have gone a lot worse for Prabuty than it actually did. Flak up joining, Gatling hammer suppressed, pinned down in a matter of seconds. The T-70 with the flak, they're just shearing them apart there. Ripping them limb from limb. Flak after almost knocked out here with his 3 divisional field gun. Reinforcing healing. Prabuty probably may want to consider second Academy if honestly versus the T-70 here. Plus any other arm. Because of this rate, Luvnest is definitely ahead on resources and likely to push out a tank here faster than Prabuty currently. So having a second Academy honestly to help deal with that is not an entirely bad idea. But there's also the other option be to consider a Storm Pioneer Squad number 2 and equip that with a Panzerschreck. I mean, that could be an option too. Though obviously a lot less typical of Oval Commander's players. But that could also be an advantage. Going western point here again, we can see that once more Prabuty's heavy center focus makes it much easier for Luvnest to, like, harass there. I feel like definitely some slight issues here for Prabuty's approach to the map. Sorry about the hiccup. And that one. Flak up being fixed up here. Guards going to send over the DP light machine to get the bad hand gun off there. But Ken bombarded and immediately annihilates Dieter and Friedhof. Grab the eastern point there. West side, we got the full to deal with the conscripts. Assault rifles on the way there. No MP40s whatsoever. I mean, 4 assault rifle upgrades again is pretty good, but I feel like Prabuty would at least benefit from 1 MP40 upgrade. Like, again, would have given just an ability to, like, occasionally threaten wipes on a retreat because the MP40s are very good once they get up close. Plus, you know, could also be fairly effective at threatening stuff like the field gun as well. But again, 4 assault rifle upgraded Volksguns is obviously just a classic. It's good for a reason. It's something people go for a reason. But, you know, again, I feel like the MP40s, at least mixing in 1, but maybe 2 could have been pretty good as well here for Prabuty. Light infantry shots here for Prabuty, always good. Folks being hammered here by the T-70 light tank. You saw the MD-34 was the Soviet advancing under Luvnest veteran command. But he's definitely starting to actively threaten here. This is good for Prabuty, less good for Luvnest. Prabuty, though, definitely needs to consider taking up here soon. Luvnest here can actually go for the T-34-76 already. He's likely playing for the T-35, but honestly, just rushing out the T-34-76 might actually be the overall supreme choice. But there's nothing wrong, I think, in going for the T-35. I mean, it's also really good. It is also really good, but So is the T-3476, and that is faster. So, again, something worth considering. Light Infantry Geschützaktion here for Prabuty. German division will usually have a bunch of these, can then combine with its larger custom, the Schwere Infantry Geschütz, which have a 15 centimeter gun. Panzer divisions will also usually have those be self-propelled. At least some Panzer division have self-propelled versions of them. Usually for the armoured Panzer Grenadiers. The Grill, of course, being a classic example. This was also the predecessor of the Bison. Some of the earlier versions of that one, by the way, looked really goofy. Katyusha rocket launcher there for Luvnest. But interesting choice is actually going for the Katyusha over armor for Luvnest. I mean, obviously, again, pressure Prabuty in some ways more, but it gives Prabuty more time without having to worry about tanks. And that means he can maybe push for tanks more easily against his opponent, whereas Luvnest started hanging near Prabuty here with tanks. That could be much more dangerous for Prabuty. He does get a wipe there, which is really good for Luvnest, obviously, and pretty bad for Prabuty. He could, of course, consider replacing with the Obersoldaten, and would certainly advise that. There's definitely more pressure on the right side, which again is good. The map is sentencing a little less fighting now. Here again, these focused beatdowns. Like a pair of nerds trying to discuss which, you know, of the Star Trek or Star Wars sequel movies is the worst. Like, you know, you can get really entrenched. Katyusha firing away there. The cannon opens up as well. They're missing the T-center. That actually breaks the hole in the wall. Flak over there hammering up the conscripts. Line for gun firing with down as well. But it's definitely a good idea for him to consider some artillery. He's already got veterans on it, so thumbs up there. And we can see the Luvnest with the Katyusha. It's not bad. I mean, it's pretty good, but I don't think it's sort of currently the tool he exactly needed versus Prabuty. Schwerer Panzer Quartz going up here for Prabuty. Very good. Thumbs up. On the western side, he's been pursued by the flak half-tech, which is very close to T2, which is where it gets really good. T-70 about to wipe the U-34. There you go. Authorization on the way. His tank, though, is pretty close. We'd like to be able to get a tank out to hit the Luvnest at this rate. You see, about to get utterly annihilated. There we go. T2 at that point, the engineers are very much what you call in danger. With the forces on the retreat, and again the bonus just gives this flak half-tech nice boost to its damage, which definitely makes it a lot easier to have stuff wiped and there go engineers wiped. That said, small relief here for Luvnest, since Volksgun is upgraded, can't pick up weapons. That means he's going to have to use the Sturm Pioneers, so that means losing another sort of double flamethrowers, but it might actually be worth it. Still, chance of Prabuty grabbing this is actually fairly low currently, so that's definitely a benefit there for Luvnest. Now the field on the way here. He's obviously where it's going to be likely on the receiving end of tanks now. And he's also clearly not afraid. At least too afraid. Guys, they're being mauled out in the open. And there go Katyusha barrage running down there outside of Prabuty's base. Second field gun almost done. Didn't do a lot of damage inside the base though, but could have been worse. Flak half-tech hauling out a bit there. 8 kills. 8. We got 327 versus 389. Volksgun squad here with 20 kills, actually very close to the ace level. Pretty good for Prabuty, and obviously a bit more threatening than for Luvnest there. Go T-Sim to the rescue here. And that looks like they're going to get wiped, in fact. Yep, that's another wipe. They're putting Prabuty down just 3 squads versus Luvnest 4. This is getting a bit dangerous, though, for Prabuty, and he really should consider replacing some of his infantry losses eventually. But he's going to need a tank first, but the manpower bleeding is making it hard for him to get it out. And this allows Luvnest to actually maybe get ahead in terms of getting a tank out. So, situation there for Prabuty is suddenly getting a lot more uncomfortable once more. Could have been caught up with the double flamethrowers, and again could become triple flamethrowers. They've got the flamethrower up there. Katyusha there close to Vet-21, got 5 kills on it. And there you go, Panzerkampf flanking for Prabuty. Does get hit in the terms of tanks against Luvnest, and there you go, double flamethrower engineers. That's a lot of fire. In the center, they got to catch the MD-34 there. But caught by the flak half track. The cheering there quickly is cut short by the flak half track. The screams drowned out beneath the torrent of flak fire. Panther halfway done. Got just being absolutely just destroyed. Down to 1 man. Flak half, meaning there's a very close 15 fleet. Panther almost done. But Prabuty's back to once more like a bit of an awkward spot here. Again, he's starting to fight more on the center and is again forgetting about the eastern side here. Though once he does get the Panther fort, I definitely think he can get away with being more aggressive. But will he be getting more aggressive? That is the bigger question. He really should also consider orbital. Get some MD-34s on them and start cutting apart those Soviet infantrymen and support weapon gunners. Got a squad there awaiting reinforcements. T-70 charging in there, got ace to like 22 kills. I mean, that T-70 has been an amazing investment here for Luvnest. And typically, like most T-70s are, they just easily like one of the best light tanks in the game, period. Flak happening in there. Using into smokes. That's actually pretty sneaky there by Prabuty. Pretty sneaky, pushing up the center with any further faults, but again, heavy focus on the center, and again, neglecting a lot of other parts of the map there. Definitely feel like there's a bit of a case of tunnel here from Prabuty against Luvnest. You could try and bombard the position with the light infantry. You should maybe use the incendiary artillery rounds, like to make it difficult for Luvnest to maintain a position there. That could be an idea. Got the guard squad move there. And caught there by the MD-34 suppressed out in the open. But yeah, forced retreat as a flank plus the double field guns could also just bombard it into death. Panther on the right flank. Got another Academy F out now. The timing for that one definitely seems a bit odd. I really would have suggested Oberstdorf here rather than another Raket in Werfer maybe. Bringing the Chief Panther for the flank, but again, limited support and a bit on the slower side there. Sturmpanic squad needs before they get swiped out. That'd be a huge blow. That's going to be a wipe, I think, unless he gets very lucky. And he didn't. So, massive blow there, Prabuty. That is also his only way of repairing his vehicles and tanks at the moment. So, that's a double whammy blow there to Prabuty. He's going to absolutely have to replace them. Meanwhile, Luvnest is going for the T-3045 medium tank in the far west. Once more, a lone country squad sneaks up that hits the western fuel point. Once more, threatening to deny Prabuty the precious fuel. And there you go, flak half taking hammered here by the field guns again. So close to letting you flee, but also so close to exploding. T-30 almost done. Katyusha is got 8 kills, close veterans 1, but it's going to take some time before it can fire again. We got 252 to 385. Luvnest definitely strengthening his upper hand here versus Prabuty. Sending the Panther westwards, and there you go. Damage the engine of the T-70. A small, supposed tiny tactical win for Prabuty, but without any way to really exploit it. Doesn't matter. And there you go. Contracting the Panther 4 here. Panther 4 whiffs. And a damage engine the Panther 4 here. T-34 there on the move for Luvnest and the Red Army. More Samax here for Luvnest. Very good work. They're very consistently throwing down defenses to make it harder for Prabuty just to like execute any swift attacks here. Sturmpanic squad finally, but he's just under so much pressure and there's so much bleeding against Prabuty. It's becoming increasingly difficult to like just master like any serious threat here to Luvnest. And it really doesn't help that Prabuty just keeps like laser focusing on the center of the map and just neglects other avenues of attack against Luvnest. Need to fix up the Panther 4, should upgrade the Sturmpioneer. At this point, I would probably recommend a Panzerschreck to help deal with enemy armor. At least assist a bit there. Reinforcing healing. Uses the Fultons, got the T-5 coming in. Pushing westwards against the conscripts. Ground gun off. Going for the conscripts there. Molotov off. And we got a Coh2 barrage again here. Once more unleashing pain and devastation in Prabuty center. Not too many support weapons this time around, but definitely could have been much worse if you hadn't been a bit careful there. Reclaim one from Western viewpoint, but Luvnest just really has the initiative and the overall superior force at the moment. At this point, Prabuty, I think needs to somehow do some reconnaissance of Luvnest positions. Then needs to hit the right position with smoke screens, charge in there, and I think should actually then use the orbital blitz to transport troops well through faster to back up the tank. If you could do that, I think, for example, take out some of the field guns and such, I think Prabuty has a chance to still win this. But otherwise, he's just, I think, at this rate, being slowly ground down here by Luvnest, who can just, blast Prabuty with superior firepower, because Prabuty's currently playing at a pace that very much favors Luvnest aggressively. Almost got the T-7 light tank there, very good. Pantherful close to it. Well, it is Veterans you want, but that's about it. Just regular bombardment here in the centre. We got Veterans in the line infantry guns, so that's obviously fairly good. But it's not helping him, shall I say, make any significant advances against Luvnest, which is what Prabuty really needs. He needs to do something to switch the overall momentum of the game currently. There you go. Again, he pushes on the centre and immediately takes damage on his Panther 4. We got 114 to 385. And again, the east side is just seeing absolutely no action there from Prabuty. Even the west side, he could just do something. He could, for example, try and sneak up some infantry here and sneak around, causing chaos, and then push up for the centre. But again, he's just a focus on these. We got another Panther 4 on the way. Luvnest, interesting enough, he's got too many units there, so he can't actually go for more armour. So again, theoretically, were to go for that second Panther 4, he could maybe again conduct a break for attack here, if he thinks it through. But the question is, does Prabuty care about that, or consider it?
The enemy has 100 points remaining.
100 points left for Prabuty against Luvnest. Black up to the guardsman. Mark Beat here from Luvnest, definitely threatening the Panther 4. That's it, the flak attack could you down the aircraft fairly fast here, so it may not matter. They're currently busy shooting infantry, not aircraft. Wait, did it all get shot down? I think it did. That's obviously pretty good. And there goes second Panther 4. Now, there's a brief moment I think Prabuty has definitely chances against Luvnest. They got roughly the same force size, but Prabuty has the advantage with the two tanks and some other elements here, but the question is, can Prabuty read the situation and leverage this correctly versus Luvnest? Because also Luvnest is currently actually fairly extended, so if he could make a rash attack on the center, he could possibly take out the field gun, at least turn against his opponent. Maybe take out the T-70. We do have the Panther 4s on the move, so there's definitely something happening there, but there needs to be infantry support, and he definitely should get the old blitz in on the front as well. He shouldn't be at this point concerned about it being a medic upgrade. He just use field medics. He's just used this to get his troops where he needs them to be fast, but also maybe rush down the field gun and grab and turn against Luvnest. Instead, the assault is once more happening at a not wildly aggressive pace, giving Luvnest plenty of time to respond. Then again, you can see the Panther 4s are doing plenty of damage to Luvnest. It's definitely not a half-assed assault, but I'm not sure it's going to be full either. We got the rocket strike holding close to the base entrance. Luvnest did pay attention just in time. They've been pretty bad from it didn't. Field been destroyed. Good kill there for Prabuty. He's actually making some gains now versus Luvnest. Got the T-3045 even this is pretty good. But the Coh2 is tearing into Prabuty. He's bunched up here too much in the center. The Kedman cleared out. Sturmpan is almost wiped. And his Panther 4 still couldn't pay a bad pace. And we got these following in here. So suddenly there was a glimmer of hope here for Prabuty, but the situation rather went pear-shaped faster you can say pear-shaped. And there you go, Panzer IV completely punched out. The other Panzer IV's flanking him, but at this point, Prabuty's position is as they're running again. If you had the old Blitz, we could have maybe like recruit this eastern force troops and formed up a new line against Luvnest's attack. Again, another reason to have it here, but instead, his forces are completely extended, worn out, and he has to retreat instead. And he can't hold the ground anyway. He's about to lose his flank car attack, which just gained Infantry 4. Panzer IV looks like it was also an early escape, but again, he just, without the old Blitz, he just couldn't like take advantage of the ground he gained there, I think, sufficiently fast, and have a force that could actually hold back against the counterattack from Luvnest. And now, in the end, he just, while he definitely did some damage, he needs to do a lot more or hold the ground here because he's so low on victory points. Meanwhile, Luvnest just swarming through here, again exploiting the gaps in Prabuty's forces. We do finally get some orbs in here for Prabuty, but I suspect this one might fall under the category of too little too late. Flame arts only for Luvnest, sandbags up again. Efficient work. He immediately sets about digging in there and preparing for an East German counterattacks. Excellent. 2 thumbs up there to Luvnest. Solid, thorough play. Fix on the Panzer IV. Flak half tech also need repairs.
The enemy is down to 25 points.
25 points. 22. Moving on the line for gun, we can certainly sense there's a bit of desperation here for Prabuty. 19. Charging in the center of the Obersoldaten. No smoke there. Definite mistake there by Prabuty. Down to 2 men in the Obersoldaten. We got a bundle grenade off, but again easily dodged. Moving into contest. 10. 8. And you fit from the flank here. And there you go, Infantry just being obliterated. The Obersoldaten wiped out. The Kevin annihilated. Line field gaining Infantry 4 here, but the rest of Prabuty's forces just melting away, particularly in the face of the triple flankers here of the engineers from Luvnest. And that, Prabuty is just destroyed. GG, game over. A nice fight here on Langraskaya. In the end, I feel like Prabuty basically was undone by his own tactical approach. Part of me might also say a lack of MP40s. I think just been more aggressive, but also crucially been more focused on the sides rather than just attacking head on without smoke screens. I think Prabuty would have been in a much better position. Luvnest, meanwhile, just played very solid, very efficiently, and just steadily ground down Prabuty and just exploited any mistakes he made beautifully. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't channel these. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. I'm still trying again for a nice episode. Bye.